the planets in our solar system, it's only Saturn which is encircled by an iconic ring, making it the most beautiful and unique celestial object in the sky. But behind this beauty, there is a tragic story. Once upon a time, an icy moon came way closer to Saturn. And then what? It got ripped apart and shattered into pieces because this moon was unable to fight with the gravity of Saturn. Since then, its shattered pieces are orbiting around the Saturn. So, Saturn wears a ring to constantly remind us it's not your success and the best moments which makes you powerful. It's your failure, pain, and unhappy moments which makes you way stronger, better, and wiser. And that's why it's said, don't forget any of it. Remember it all and overcome it. If you don't overcome, you'll always be the kid whose soul never grows. Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So today's video is about Saturn's Navamsha, how the placement of Saturn in the D9 impacts our actions and overall life path. Moreover, based on its placement, how we can make conscious efforts to make our life more better, how we can accept and learn our lessons well so that we don't repeat the same mistakes again and again, and how to move forward constantly without getting stuck to the past situations. So let's begin. Rashi and Navamsha, they are the two sides of the same coin. They are two aspects of your life, of your existence, and you cannot ignore any of them. Whenever you want to know about yourself, about your future path, about how the world is impacting you on a very soul level, on a physical level, you need to look into these charts. Rashi Tulya Navamsha, Navamsha Tulya Rashi. You need to connect points between these two charts. So it's very important that you look into both of these important charts. So D1 is your physical reality, it's your qualities, whatever you are born with, and how you are dealing with the physical circumstances, how you are dealing with the world. Now, D9 is about your inner reality, what's going on with respect to your soul, with respect to your emotional side, and also how you are dealing with the outer world, how the interaction between the inner and the outer reality is bringing a major transformation, because we are born with certain qualities, but change is the only constant. We are constantly changing. So that's what D9 indicates. That's why we say always that D9 holds the key to change, to the future progress. I have already done one video on the Saturn's Navamsha, that is the part 1 of this series, and if you haven't watched it yet, there is a link given in the description box. So that video is about how Saturn brings a major change in our life, transformation, and what kind of pending karmic issues you witness in your important partnerships. But now, in this video, this is the part 2, and here I'll be mainly focusing on what kind of repeating patterns we see in life and how we can make conscious efforts and changes to move ahead in life, how we can improve our efficiency, how we can improve the quality of life, what we must learn from the Saturn's Navamsha. Now, before we proceed ahead, let's understand what does Saturn's placement in Navamsha indicates. Well, number one, Saturn indicates our ability to blend with the world. How on a soul level we are interacting with the people, with the society, because Saturn is the reality principle. and it is also a symbol of society, the world. So, number one, Saturn's Navamsha indicates how, on a soul level, we are interacting with the world. How are we accepting the society norms, or how we are blending with the world, and how the world is impacting our soul's journey. Number two, it talks about sustainability, our decision making abilities, our long term goals, whether it's your desire to be, someone, you have a picture in your mind. I want to be like this, I want to do this in life. So, Saturn's Navamsha has a lot to do with that. Number three, it does indicate certain karmic debts. Well, honestly, each and every planet does indicate something about our karmic debts. But when it comes to planet Saturn, it represents repeating patterns happening in our life. There is something we need to learn, and until and unless we don't learn that, we will witness repeating patterns, repeating situations. So Saturn represents our life pattern. It represents the ability to deal with the real world. It shows how we may need to make changes constantly so that we are no more stuck in those patterns. Lastly, Saturn indicates what your partner is bringing for you. I have told you Saturn is the reality principle, and whatever is missing in you, whatever awareness you don't have about the real world, what you must know, this is now going to be reflected by your partner. So Saturn's Navamsha indicates what kind of a reality your partner is bringing for you in this journey. And lastly, I want to repeat it again and again. Whenever I say that Saturn is in Aries Navamsha, this means that Saturn is in Aries in your D9 chart. I'm not talking about the Lagna of the D9. Please listen to the entire intro, to understand the video in a great way. When I say Saturn is in Virgo Navamsha, this means that Saturn is in Virgo in your D9 chart. So let's start with our analysis. With Saturn in the Aries Navamsha, one may struggle to find enough power and energy to deal with everyday affairs and even to focus on your goals properly. It's not that you don't have enough power, I would say you have the greatest power and determination to achieve whatever you want. The moment of crisis always triggers that energy, and ultimately, you are the winner. But your energy gets wasted while struggling with trivial matters. That's why Saturn in Aries Navamsha is quite challenging placement. Like, it keeps you annoyed, it keeps you irritated and nervous, and this is how you lose your energy. What if this person or that person takes away my freedom? There's a fear of that as well, because Aries is the lord of the first house. First house has a lot to do with identity. So you may constantly feel threatened that the world is challenging your identity constantly. You are being made to live in a competitive environment. So the repeated pattern which you may face in this journey is competition. So, competition is coming in your life through known and the unknown people. So, sometimes, yes, truly, a lot of people may challenge you, they may bring competition, but sometimes, even if someone doesn't mean that, you may, take this as a threat. So, sometimes there is no threat, but you still think that this person is very threatening, this situation is threatening. So, you have to take care while assessing your situation in life. And now, how can you break this pattern? Well, by understanding that not every competition is for you, it's not made for you. You don't need to react impatiently to every challenge. Be selective with your actions. Not every drama, not every conflict needs constant energy, and you tend to get very annoyed and aggressive. This is something which happens constantly on very small issues. So that has to be also taken care of. It is something which will always bring delay in your path. So patience is the key. Patience is something which will help you to go beyond the repeating patterns of competition and struggles given by Saturn. With respect to relationships, your partner may constantly make you feel that he or she is way smarter than you. This person is, more balanced in life. He or she knows how to deal with the day to day activities in a more smart way. It just happens because in this way you learn to make a decision with more patience and discipline. This just kills that panic button which you always carry in your mind. Trust is also something which is a major theme of the partnership. Overall, your partner will help you to learn about that every battle need not to be fought alone. Sometimes taking a little help or assistance do wonders. Having Saturn in Taurus Navamsha is a good placement because it gives great patience and perseverance. No matter what happens, you will always stick to your goals and dreams in a great way, but something is lacking in your life, and it is the ability to appreciate every little thing you have. You do not know how to understand the very, the small moments of life, the very happy moments of life. There is inability to understand the worth of certain things. Now, being in Taurus Navamsha, Saturn wants you to go beyond the worldly things, which is, visually pleasing, or it makes you instantly happy. Instead of that, understand the true worth of everything, including your own self. Sometimes you may resist taking help from everyone. You may feel stuck or limited by the family bonds. Like the moment you start thinking about your own worth and growth, family responsibilities, obligations may slow you down. Even if no one is stopping you, the experience, the memory you carry with respect to people, especially the family bonds, stop you from moving in a desired direction. And then you may question your own worth, or may question the traditions, the rules and regulations, or the path which has been approved by the family. So it's like whenever you want to take an important step, you may think whether this will be approved or supported by my family or not. And sometimes there is also financial constraints which may stop you from moving ahead. So there is a repeating pattern where every decision you want to make is dependent upon the approval of someone important, especially the family, or you think too much about others and start underestimating yourself. So, you have to break this pattern with the help of forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself all the time. You cannot blame yourself for everything. And also, if something about the family bonds, someone very specific, is bothering you constantly, I think you must forgive that person. Forgiveness will help you to move forward. With respect to relationships, your partner may be someone who seeks devotion and emotional security from you. You need to take care of his or her sentiments. And here comes again the lesson of forgiveness. When we live with someone, when we are in a partnership, we have to forgive that person. We cannot be angry all the time. So, helping your partner to feel more loved and valued is also helping you to learn the ability of forgiving others. And in this process, you will heal as well. Your partner will help you to go beyond a wall, that wall which you created because of the difficult connections. You have made certain limitations for yourself, that this is my value, I cannot go beyond this, I cannot achieve this. So partner will constantly push you to go beyond your limitations and your boundaries. Having Saturn in Gemini Navamsha means you are being blessed with a powerful mind. There is a great ability to understand how this world functions, great ability to understand the actions of other people, their thought process. But deep within, it creates chaos with respect to how you feel and how you perceive this world. You greatly understand this world, but with this understanding, you try to detach from this world as well, because once you understand about the flaws of others, the shortcomings of others, you tend to detach. That's the issue. And your words might get misunderstood by others, and this is how you may start limiting your expression. It directly hits your thinking process too. Like while making an important decision or maybe doing an important assessment, you may think whatever work I'm doing, whether it will be approved by the world or not, whether my plans, my ideas will be approved by the society or not, is it feasible or not? So, already with this placement, your soul has a lot of work to do because you are born with literally two poles apart kind of personalities. One personality is insecure and it may easily conform to the rules and regulations of society so that stability is achieved. But the other one is running away from the society norms because this aspect of your life, of your personality, fears what if I couldn't discover new things? So, with Saturn here, you want to fix and blend these two aspects of your life. Maybe in the younger years, your choices and your ideas were doubted. So, because of this, one hesitates to act as per his or her ideas or intentions. There's so much magic within you, but there's a fear to put that magic in front of the world, to express what you have. So there is constant pattern of not being successfully expressing yourself. So there are two things which you can do. Number one, try to complete one task at one time. Create a schedule for yourself. Then the next point is learn to silence your mind. Whenever your mind repeatedly says you can't do this or that, you're not good enough, so you have to say, okay, you need to shut up for a moment. I am worthy, I am good enough. With respect to relationships, partner may bring the need to go beyond the comfort zone. This person may always demand something which may push you to take a bold move where you have to be more expressive, more open to the world. And the most important thing in a relationship is feel the connection. Do not shy away or hesitate to feel the connection. You have to be more expressive in the connection. Don't live in the fear of uncertainty. When Saturn is in Cancer Navamsha, it does bring some struggle while growing up. That whole process of becoming an adult leave a great impact on the future years. So when you are a fully grown up person, you tend to connect present issues and circumstances with the ones which happened in the childhood, or maybe the childhood memories, the childhood stuff keeps on coming into your mind again and again, so it stops your ability to grow with the situation. one tend to cling to the past memories and experiences. Therefore, the major lesson which Saturn is bringing for you in the Cancer Navamsha is to grow along with your pains and experiences. Acceptance and moving forward is everything. This is a very strong repetitive pattern which you are dealing with, connecting your present to the childhood experiences, or how those experiences are coming back to your mind again and again, stopping you to grow and look into your future path. Also, you may constantly look out for a place called as home, a place which can give you security and protection. Or emotionally and mentally, you want to live this life in a certain way, in a certain pattern, or in a certain setting, and no one should disturb that peace of mind and stability. So, the strong urge to find security will only end once you learn the fact that home is where your heart is. Pursuing something which you like, maybe a work, a path which enables you to express your imagination and dreams, this will make you feel more secure. This will bring that home feeling within you. When you are at the right place doing the right thing, that is your home. Also, one must learn to be independent. The more you are dependent on others for your emotional needs, you may see the same repetitive pattern of people abandoning you or ghosting you again and again. So you have to be independent emotionally. That is the biggest lesson Saturn is bringing over here. With respect to relationship, your partner can be someone who is emotionally distant, or this person may find it difficult to express his or her emotions, and your partner will constantly bring such situations, such circumstances, which will help you to learn that you need to live in present, you need to focus on the present, experience this world the way it is. Don't go in a shell when things are not going good. With Saturn in the Leo's Navamsha, one constantly deals with repetitive patterns which questions his or her worth and image in this world. Saturn is in the Navamsha of Sun. What is Sun? Sun is your soul. So this shows something has silenced the voice of your soul. Like um, you had a certain will or a desire which was not aligned well with the universe, with the divine, or maybe with your higher self. It was not good for you, and maybe a different path was designed for you, but this will is still within you. Like you want something to happen, but your higher self doesn't give the permission of this, because soul is something which is pure. It has its inner voice which guides you to the right direction, and that is the role of sun. So that's why you feel the need to constantly prove yourself. You wanted something, it didn't happen, it impacted your image, your identity. This placement does cause lack of energy and health troubles as well. And most of these issues are more of emotional in origin. Also, it's difficult to forgive any kind of insult. So, practicing forgiveness is the best remedy to break this repetitive pattern of self doubt, humiliation, and unhappiness. Be kind and forgiving. This will act as a healing mechanism. Also, be careful about your company, as you may absorb other people's negativity very easily. You have a lot to give to this world, especially no one can guide others the way you can. Your advice can be so helpful. With respect to relationship, partner is bringing the lesson of patience and tolerance. Accept the good and the bad both. You may deal with a very unconventional partner who doesn't easily, mold according to the rules and regulations of the world. And this person will teach you how to humbly accept all the shortcomings and not to be so serious all the time. With Saturn in the Virgo Navamsha, one has to defeat his or her own thought process, or I would say, defeat that self limiting pattern which you follow. It shows how, on a soul level, you have been pushed to obey the world's rules and restrictions, like you will only achieve this or that when you serve other people's needs. So, yes, you have dealt with obstruction and restrictions from time to time while growing up, and with these experiences, you have started to limit yourself from experimenting or going beyond a certain way of thinking. That's why you tend to witness a repetitive pattern of obstacles which blocks your growth, or a repetitive pattern of competition coming through the loved ones or maybe the known people. I do see that these people deal with a lot of challenges coming through the relatives and family members. And the only way to break this pattern of competition obstacle is to first never judge yourself. You have to be kind enough to yourself. By judging yourself, you will limit your abilities. Instead of worrying about the obstacle, go beyond the self limiting mindset. You waste a lot of time in overthinking rather than solving that issue. So don't confine yourself with the self burden trouble. You can easily solve the problems of other people. What happens when you are dealing with your own issues? You tend to get stuck because you are challenging yourself every time. Also, there is a karmic debt to work for the world with great dedication, and you will do that. You will get the appreciation for your efforts. It's a very successful placement because you will be successful in beating all the odds. Your honesty, your hard work will attract more strong position in society. So the only trouble with this placement is you limit yourself. You are deciding your own limits. You are creating your own obstacles. One more major lesson which you need to learn is if you obey all the rules, then you will miss the fun. So it's very important to, take short breaks and also focus on yourself. Focus on your happiness, focus on your wellness. When it comes to relationship, your partner may demand more empathy and compassion from you. Constantly, this person will create a situation where you have to think from your heart rather than from your mind. And as you seek perfection in your partnership, that perfect balance, well, whomsoever is coming into your life, this person may have some flaws, asking you to live with the imperfections as well. Accept the flaws and the imperfections which exist in this world. Saturn in the Libra Navamsha is a very good placement because ultimately here the soul learns the art of balancing the life. We all have two sides of personality. There is yin and yang, there is black and white. So, with this placement, a soul is in a learning process of how to find beauty in everything, how to find balance in everything. It's not that you can create balance in every situation, it's just that you are learning to be in balance no matter how the external situation is. This is what you are learning. All the inequality which one has dealt with in the past and even in the present journey as well acts as a catalyst to look at the both sides of the coin. This placement of Saturn in Navamsha also indicates that deep within one deals with a great sense of loneliness. There has been some kind of injustice which you have witnessed. There is lack of right exchange in your connections. So, because of this, in this journey, there is a need to find a partner or maybe, a work which is equivalent to having a partner. You do seek some kind of companionship, some kind of anchor to balance your life. So, Saturn in the Libra Navamsha brings a repetitive pattern of indecision and delay, because sometimes we get too busy in assessing the situation, all the good and the bad, all the advantages and the disadvantages of something. So, there is some kind of indecision you deal with, because it's difficult to make up your mind while finding your purpose, or maybe completing a goal, or maybe you are trying to find a life partner. You may take time to make an important decision. Also, even when you are in a good partnership, you may feel a bit sad sometimes, because Saturn creates a fear of losing balance in that connection. What if this person is not there with me tomorrow? So, this kind of fear might be there. So, how to get rid of that repetitive pattern of indecision and insecurity of losing balance? Well, quit the need to constantly assess the current situation, what you are doing, what you are getting in return. So, you need to really break that habit. As you seek the perfect balance in life, things may not happen in that way, because with this placement of Saturn, you must know that in this deeply flawed world, it's you who have to make peace with yourself. This makes you the most successful person in the society. I have mentioned this earlier, that why this placement is so good, because you know how to balance your thinking. So, whatever you do, you greatly use your mind and heart both in the right proportion, in a very great way to be successful. That is the balance you achieve in this journey. With respect to relationships, your partner may constantly bring the need to be emotionally vulnerable, so that you can speak out, you can talk about your insecurities, you can share your emotions and ideas with that person. You will come across a partner who will make you understand that love is not just about appreciating each other, or it's not just about compassion. There is a lot more about it. It's about devotion, it's about forgiveness, it's about surrender, good and bad both. So you must understand the deeper meaning of love and companionship. Saturn in the Scorpio Navamsha is a challenging placement, because on a soul level it shows you are finding it hard to accept something. You know everything, you can sense the deepest secrets of this world, but even if you know all, it's difficult to accept all. As you see, planet Saturn is all about resistance. So you resist to conform to the truth or a situation. Resistance to change with time is there. With this placement, one gets stuck to repetitive pattern of identity crisis, or a pattern of some certain issues, certain events. You perfectly work on a material level, absolutely ambitious, successfully chasing your goals, because you are being blessed with amazing willpower. But with respect to your inner reality, it's intense. Like you are the greatest mystery of the all time. You have to first discover yourself. A deep fear of uncertainty and unavoidable changes might be there. Like, what will happen tomorrow? How can I accommodate to the changes happening in future? Therefore, the only way to break the repeating patterns is quit the need to control the situations of life. Be open to what lies ahead. You may come across such people who may want you to change as per their requirements. They may demand sacrifice or even the change of your identity. You don't change yourself for anyone, but learn to adapt with situations. Also, there is a major issue. You do not reveal what you think, what you want. You are too afraid to share your ideas, your expectations, what you want in life. With respect to relationships, this aspect of not being able to reveal what you want in life, what you want to achieve, can become a major block. You may encounter a partner who may seek stability and security from you, because this person is bringing a lesson, and this lesson is about how to surrender to a relationship without fearing about tomorrow. And through the marriage experience, you will learn a lot of patience. With Saturn in Sagittarius Navamsha, one becomes a learner and a preacher both for entire life. On a soul level, one struggles to accept a certain belief system which is widely accepted by the world. One follows a very unusual path, and this path has to be discovered all alone. So you will discover a truth, you will discover something fascinating by yourself. You cannot blindly follow the teachings of others. That's why, in this journey of acquiring knowledge, you too become a great teacher for the world. Difficult experiences coming through teachers and schooling systems is greatly impacting you. It will impact how your soul transforms and prepare for its future course. This is how the journey of your soul has been. You have been forced to accept something and suppress your own curiosity, your own wisdom. One tends to get stuck in a repetitive pattern of being judged based on your knowledge and abilities. You will be judged for not being good at something which is approved by the world, like the rigid education system. You want to learn something else and you are being forced to learn something different. You have a very unconventional approach. This reminds me of Albert Einstein's saying that everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will, make this life miserable. It will live its whole life believing that it's stupid. So, you are here to break this pattern. And how you can do that? Be the first one to stand in the line. You have to act first and others will follow you. Some journeys starts with you. You are the first one who is taking a risk. With respect to relationships, partner is bringing the lesson of loyalty. The thing is, you can get reckless and confused in relationships, which may cause withdrawal, detaching from the partner. Because whatever your belief system is, this person may not agree to that. So, partner demands constant attention, like the blending of the culture and the traditions in the marriage is the major theme. You must listen and understand your partner's upbringing, and the partner has to do the same. So, yes, partner will demand constant attention, and whatever the situation you may face, you need to accept it. It's okay to be vulnerable. With Saturn in the Capricorn Navamsha, one often performs a strong and leadership role in the world, because this placement naturally gives the ability to walk as per the society norms and social structure. Or it could be that one has learned all of this in the hard way, like constantly being punished for your actions, for your mistakes. So the world created a fear of breaking the rules. Your soul is learning a very hard lesson of responsibility. And in this process, you may start slowly depending upon the outer world for approval and gratification. There can be a fear whether my hard work, my success, my efforts will be approved by the world or not, or What if I fail to attain a strong position in society? So you confine your life to certain thought process or a certain pattern, and you don't want to look beyond that. Deep within, your soul is, detaching from the desire to truly experience this life to the fullest. The repeating pattern which you may observe in this journey is delay. Nothing happens quickly, and also you hold yourself responsible for everything, even if it's not your mistake, even if it's someone else's problem or mistake, you always blame yourself. How you can break this pattern? Well, by understanding that no matter how slowly things happen, I must choose to live in the present moment and make the best of what I have. And of course, you need to add a bit of humor in your life. It will change everything beautifully. With respect to relationships, you may witness a very sensitive and emotional partner, someone uh, who just, triggers your vulnerable side. Because I have told you, your ability to emotionally invest in a connection, invest into any hobby or work, is very difficult. So, a partner is coming in your life who will trigger that emotional side. Because you might have matured in no time. You never got the opportunity to be a childlike personality. So, the partner can be emotionally demanding person, and this partnership will help you to learn a lot about devotion. Like, partnership is something where you also have to um, do sacrifices. The connection is more bigger than self, the self needs. So, this is the basic lesson. And sometimes you need to look away from the serious aspect of life and enjoy it. With Saturn in the Aquarius Navamsha, one actually knows how to sustain in this world. It's a gift acquired by constantly evolving. Your soul agreed to learn each and every lesson quite well and continued to evolve using that lesson. Therefore, this placement makes you a game changer. Like, you know the rules, but also these rules will eventually change. So you know the both sides of the story, the both sides of this world. I will learn the rules, and I also know that I can change the rules. Everything will change at a certain point, and this makes you very smart. This makes you a very strong person. So you will continue to move ahead despite of whatever changes is happening in the world. On a soul level, yes, you are struggling because your ability, your power is not much evident to the world, or simply you are so different that you feel whatever you have is not going to be accepted by the world. Despite of doing the good, you'll be always anxious whether I'm at the right place or not, or whatever I'm doing right now, is this my purpose? And if it's not my purpose, should I go somewhere else and find my purpose? So even though you are giving a lot to the world, but constantly there is a doubt that whatever I'm doing for others, do they deserve it, or whether this thing will be valued by others or not. Therefore, as you grow, you may leave this world in amazement, because whatever you will do is going to change this world or may create a new trend. And you might not be even aware of it, that how impactful you are. With the constant experiences of being judged, you tend to get stuck in a state of disbelief. Like, you may not easily agree with what others are believing or what others are saying. There is a great degree of disbelief in life. So you want to go and explore that truth. If someone is saying, okay, this is the ultimate truth, you will say, no, let me go. I want to experiment. I want to learn this. Let me explore this. Then I'll believe this truth. So, the Rahu's rebel like nature is very much here, giving a disbelief. And the more you disbelieve, then the world will doubt on what you are giving to them. So there is a repetitive pattern where people judge you for like absolutely no reason, or they judge you because you are way different, very unconventional, and this makes you emotionally detached from the world. And the only way to break this repeating pattern of being judged is explore the world, connect with the world. Don't fear to invest your emotions into your work or whatever your purpose is, and make friends. It's not always important that you have to be this emotionally connected friend. It's just that you need to establish cordial connections with the world. That is very important. Understanding other people's journey is also a very important part of your life. And um, be open to share your emotions. With respect to relationships, your partner may constantly demand your mental and physical presence in the relationship. You have to learn about unity, empathy, and cooperation. And you cannot suddenly disappear from your commitments. I have seen with this placement, it's difficult to commit to a connection. Even if you like someone with your whole heart, sometimes you tend to disappear from the connections because you think that okay, it's not working, and before I get hurt I should move away. So confrontation in relationships is important, and your partner will constantly push you to be a part of this connection all the time. Stay dedicated to your partnership. With Saturn in the Pisces Navamsha, one seeks some kind of closure in this life. On a soul level, this placement indicates some lessons were not learned well. That's why you are stuck in a repetitive pattern of doing same thing again and again, or experiencing a situation again and again. Like when you are near to the completion of a work or a task, you have to go back again and again to correct something. Therefore, the only way to break this pattern is to use your knowledge and lessons greatly. Plus, do not fear to listen to your own intuition, because maybe you have grown up in such a way where addressing your needs or simply following your imagination, your thinking was not a good thing to do, not socially acceptable. That's why you may try to escape from the social structure, or you may try to escape from such places where there are very strict rules and regulations. So, confrontation is the key to break the cycle of, a constant moving back to square one, like dealing with the same situation, the same person over and over again. Because until and unless you don't confront and fight for what you want, you won't be able to proceed further. Saturn in Pisces Navamsha is a very old soul placement. This indicates you carry age old wisdom and ability to understand the functioning of the world in a great way. And as you know the reality of the world, you have that wisdom, you have that awareness. You are no longer interested to be an active part of the community, the active part of this world. Since you know that there is so many flaws, you tend to detach from that reality, and you want to establish like a world of your own. You want to be in your own shell, in your own zone. This is the problem with Saturn in the Pisces Navamsha. It detaches from everyone. There is a sense of isolation one deals with. So, as one grows, this disconnection, this feeling of being isolated or misunderstood by the world gets more stronger. That's why it's very important that do not compare your way of thinking with others. This is the only way to, get rid of this sense of isolation. We can adapt to the world. We can listen to everyone's story. It's up to you if you want to believe it or not, but you have to be open to the world. That is the most important thing. With respect to relationships, well, your partner is someone who constantly wants you to take up responsibility and be there in every situation. No matter how things are challenging, you have to be there. You have to be a pillar of support. Dedication and sticking to your commitment is something which your partner will demand. This person will make you learn this. Also, through the marriage partnership, you have to learn about respecting the decisions of other people. Like sometimes you need to listen to what others are saying, you need to follow what others are saying. This is very important for a strong partnership.